So today we're going to see about this IoT core. I will going to tell you like what is IoT core, and we will see through the lab how the messaging system works behind it. This IoT core is like connecting the devices with your cloud that are IoT based clouds, means IoT based devices, and how the signals they travels, how the cloud they receive the message. We will going to see all that. So let's start with that. So what we needed, as you can see on my screen, this AWS IoT core is one of the services of AWS IoT, and it's like a gateway. You can say it like that allows the message or signals to travel. Means you can send it from hardware device or from the software that you install or that hardware that you use it for IoT configuration and work. From that you can send a signal to the cloud, and you can follow this link also in case if anything is you want to see how it actually works. So you we have already done the initial step of like AWS account, we already have it, and AWS console and all. I will going to show you one by one everything we will going to see. So just a basic idea that I have given to you, like what is an AWS IoT core. As I said you, like it's one of the service, and it's also called a message broker, which connect the IoT devices with the cloud, in short and simple. Okay, you can see it from here also, connecting an IoT device with the cloud. So we're going to do one by one every step. Okay, so now this IoT cloud, in this IoT one, you need to have this some configuration before start this IoT uh, core. You should have some component install, or like you should have some settings, like you can see it as you already done the initial step of having an AWS account and registrations, because that is the basic step to access the service. Okay, now other thing inside this, like you should have a permissions and services, whether IAM roles are enabled or what, that I will going to show you. You might have available this services in your account, like administrator, IAM user. So what do you mind? What do you mean by that? This IAM role is a permission that is given to you your account. Okay, what do you mean by this? Like when you click on this AWS, when you try to log in it on the AWS, you get two options at the start. Okay, first one is your root user, and another one is your IAM role user. IAM role in the sense, like when somebody is having account and he is giving you an access, means you have an access with particular ID. Okay, so you usually create an account in this AWS with certain mail ID and password, right? So you are the IAM user means you have a role, you have a certain permission to use some services of this AWS. Okay, so this was the AWS, like a permissions and all you might need it when you do this AWS IoT. Okay, like here you can see what are the services that you need it. First of all, you need to sign in IAM console by using root user, or maybe you have a IAM user, whatever it is. So before login, what you get it, I think on the Saturday class somebody asked me the question that I am getting the screen like whether to log in as a root user or IAM user. Am I right? Somebody was getting this options.
I was getting it, yeah.
Sorry, your voice is not audible.
I was getting it. I think
Okay.
it was my question.
Yeah. So now, when you log in it, so how do you log in that?
I usually go for root user.
Uh, okay. Like because when I log in, I log in as a IAM user because this account is belong to someone else and he has given me the access. So I'm logging as a IAM user. But when you are logging, you are logging as a root user. So anyone, whether you are created an account from your own, in that case, if you are the owner of that account, suppose you have created an account with your credit card and billing, that is called root user. Okay, but here I am using this account that is created by Hackveda. They have given me the access, so they are I am here IAM user because they have given me permission. So this IAM console, let me open it and show you. So you can see this. It's an IAM dashboard will become. Let me open on the screen itself. Why I'm showing you this thing so that you should be aware about it. I can come directly on the practical also, but in that case, suppose you want to start, you want to do the configuration, then in that case you will get an error. So that's why I thought to tell you about the this all thing, AWS console and all, so that you can also have a look on this. Sorry, it's taking time. Okay, let me show you on the Windows only. So like this, you can see on my screen, I am getting sign in as a IAM user, right? So I will going to sign in with an IAM user. Just 1 minute. So you can click on this AWS Management Console. You will get the screen. Okay, I need to type it IE account ID. Just 1 minute. Let me type it the account ID because this account ID belong to the Aqueda. So I just need to paste it the link from there. Just 1 minute. I am just opening an account. So you can see on my screen, right? So this was the ID given to me by the Hackveda. This is a IAM user. That's why I am a IAM user. I'm not a root user because I have not created an account. So this thing you should be aware what is an root user, what is an IAM user. IAM user in the sense,
So do we need to log in as a IM user? Is it?
no, it's not like that. Means
Okay.
you can log in with any of this, but you should know the difference between those two. When
Mm-hmm.
somebody like when company will giving you an account of AWS, in that
Hmm.
case you will be the IAM user because they are giving you the permission to access their account or like a means they are given you the access to access their account.
Okay, but till now we were logging with
with root.
root user.
Yeah, because you have created an account for your
Mhm.
ID that is specific to
Mm.
your personal account, you can
Okay.
say it.
Okay. So now again we need to log in as root user. Is it?
Yes, yes, yes. So this kind of ID will be assigned to you. Okay, this kind of ID, you can save this ID whenever like somebody means giving you their account to access. You can save this ID with you, because this account ID of 12 digit you might need it whenever you want to log in it. After that, you this username and password you have to create it, but this ID need it. Okay, then you can sign in. Once you get sign in, you can go to the management console. We're going to see step by step, every step I will going to show you. See, you can get this right. You can get this screen, and with your username it will going to show you. Now how to change the reason you can change it from here. I told you like the best means mostly the people use this US east and Virginia central region. Why? Because this is from the cost perspective it is costly, but this server or this reason is mostly used by everyone. What do you mean by this reason and all? Reason is nothing just like you are hosting a server there. Just like you can think it in India, suppose if we have a 30 state or like that, suppose 29 state or 30 state, then suppose each state you have deploy one server there. So now suppose you are using a server from the Maharashtra. I am using a server from Delhi. Somebody using server from UP. Like that, different server they have deployed. So whichever server will be nearby to you, that will be more like beneficial to access. Right? Means that server will going to response more. There will be low latency in that case. Right? So there can be different servers are available, and each server is having different configuration. What do you mean by configuration? Like their RAM, their processor, storage, this all will be different for each server. So mostly the people they select US East one, even it is very far from us, but because this is considered as the best server, because best reason, which is having a like a good configuration. So people they use this one, but it's not like that you can't use other. Based on your requirement you can use, like you can use this Asia Pacific Mumbai also. You can use any of this server based on your requirement, where you want to deploy your application or where you want to host a server. So reason is just a server you want to deploy it. Now in the last class I told you, when we were deploying when we were installing any software or we were creating an instance, at that time I was selecting some like a reason from here, right? So that was the mean, because I wanted to install my instance, my system, my instances means where you install a software and all, right? That I wanted to deploy in this particular region, so that's why I selected this. You can select any of this region, and based on that charges will be applied, because this cloud is completely based on pay basis, right? How much you will going to use, that much you have to pay. Okay, this was the basic thing that I've explained you. Now let's come to our actual thing, that is called IOD, means AWS IoT core. So this AWS IoT core will I will going to tell you how you can connect the devices with the cloud. So when I was explaining you at that time, I was telling you a few of the thing, right? Like how you can connect it and what are the things that you need to do it. So you can see on my screen, right? It is something like this. You have some hardware device. Okay, you will install some software on this IoT core. I will going to show you how we do that. IoT core. That IoT core, okay, means that will going to help you to send a message to this cloud. Means you can see your message will be going to uh, forward to the cloud. Now the question is there, how are we going to do that? We write some code. Okay, for this we write some code. Let me show you what actually it is. I have installed the VirtualBox in my system, so I can use dual operating system. So I have run on this Ubuntu, this one. So this you can see there are, this one is a folder, okay. So this one is provided by the cloud only. I have downloaded this software on my system. This software, they have given me this file, and this file having some config scripting file is written. Let me show you what actually this is. You can see this some scripting file is written. Don't go in a deep like what actually this is stand for, whatever it is. As of now, just think it like this is some script. Okay, in when you work in any company or any industry, you need to write this script so that you can connect the hardware devices to your cloud, and you can make their communication successful in between them. Okay, so this is called a scripting file. .sh means shell file you have written here. As of now, just think that it is one scripting file, and why you have written it, so that you can communicate with the cloud successfully. Okay, so as of now, you don't go in a deep. Just think this is the one script file. When you will going to run, communication will be going to happen between those cloud. Okay, similarly, there are other file also there. This public key, private key, this certification, what is this? See, because this thing, you are connecting your local system with the cloud. Am I clear to you, ma'am, till now? Anything, if you have a doubt, anything is not clear?
Yeah, it's perfectly fine, Amit.
Okay, if anything is not clear, you can ask me anytime, right? So
Sure, sure.
here, this thing is what, you might be a question coming in your mind, from where did I get this file? This file I got from the cloud only. When you will going to do this lab, you will also get this file on the cloud only. Okay, we need to do some settings, we need to do some configuration, and this file will get downloaded on our system. Okay, once you extract this file, you will get this certain file inside this. So this one is your shell file. .sh means shell file, script file. This file will going to send a message to your cloud from your hardware, means that you have running on your local system. Okay, next thing. Okay, the next thing is here, this public key and private key. What is this? This is nothing but the encryption key. See, a cloud is need to be very secure. Okay, because cloud has to prevent from unauthorized use, and they have to secure their data so that unknown person or like anyone can't misuse the cloud, right? So there is some public key and private key is there, so it will be, it is given to you. Okay, why it is given to you? Because public key is what, public key is something like it is shared to everyone, and private key is something whoever uh, download this folder on their system, they will only going to run this. So you can think it like, suppose this is, they are giving you a key, just like a key of your lock. They are giving you the key. When you have this two file on your system, then only you will going to access the cloud, uh, or you can run this file on your cloud. Okay, and this is one AWS IoT device SDK Python. Okay, what is this? This is one Python file. Now the question is that why I'm getting this Python file. Okay, it's not mandatory, like based on my selection it has given me Python file. I will going to show you one by one everything. Let me show you how actually it looks, then I will going to show you with the lab. So because I selected in a AWS that I want the file to be in Python so that I can run on my system, that's why it has given me in Python. If you want, you can see here also what actually the file looks. So you can see this. This is a file in written in a Python. You can use any language here. They give options for like JScript. They give options JSON. They give jQuery, Node.js. Several options they give you that in which you want to write this file. This file is basically will help you to communicate with the cloud, so that you can send a message, you can receive a message from that. Okay, now you can see here what is written here. It is a simple Python program where they are doing a setup to connect with Amazon Python SDK. SDK is a software development kit, means this folder is downloaded on your system in the form of development kit. Software development kit is nothing but the folder. Okay, means you can see here, when I open this, it's like a SDK, means a single folder which is having all the configuration file that will help you to run a software on the system. You can think it as a final SDK software, or you can see think it as a final folder which is having all the configuration file. You can see it is having this file, core, exception. So these are all the configuration file that finally you need it in order to run the software, or in order to do the communication with the AWS. Now this is the general idea behind what actually the folder and how we're going to download. Now let's see how we can do it. Okay, now you can open this link. I'm sharing you this link. Might be, I think it will down. Oh, okay. You can open your console, and you can open the AWS console, log in it, and type AWS IoT. Once you click on that, this link will be open. Uh, you can try it and let me know whether you are getting the same screen or not.
We need to click IoT core, right? AWS IoT core.
You can click, yeah, AWS IoT Core, or you can just search on the here management console about IoT Core. So you will get that options. The basic idea behind this is what we will go means this IoT Core is introduced so that person they can who is working in IoT department, or who is working in a IoT project, they can write some scripting file that I have shown you, right? They can write some script file like this, and with the help of this script file they can save the data generated by the IoT devices on the cloud. Okay, like an AWS cloud. So today I will going to show lab on that basis only, means we will not going to like work on the hardware as of now. For the hardware we will going to see if we somebody from the Equida, they will going to tell you hardware configuration. This is completely based on the cloud basis, means how you can connect, how you can do the configuration of an AWS IoT, and then you can install on your system or download a folder on your system, and you can send a message to the cloud. This thing we will going to see, and based on the hardware how you can connect it, uh, me or maybe some of my team member will going to show you, but that is the latter case. Now we need to see it like how we can connect to the IoT core from the cloud itself, that you don't need external hardware. uh, do Are you getting the same screen that I am getting now? Anyone? Swarnita ma'am,
Not exactly.
I'm not getting the same screen.
just type
My
IoT
screen.
core, AWS IoT core.
I have clicked on AWS IoT core, and then some different screen is getting open.
Okay, can you just share a screen? I'm stop sharing. I'm making you host.
Mhm.
Manju ma'am, right? Yeah, I made you host. Just share the screen.
This is what I think. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it is the same only, na. Click on that monitor.
Yeah, that was there.
Click on this onboard. See this, yeah,
Okay.
manage, get started. Yes, go down.
Yes.
uh, Click on this get start, onboard a device, get started. Yeah, now we have started this. I will going to tell you, no need to start as of now.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is a practical one. You, yeah, and anyone, Dipti ma'am, you, Sarnida ma'am, are you there?
Yes, so I'm not signed in. I'm signing in now.
Can you share your screen?
Yes.
Yeah, just log in it. This you are login as a root user because you have created an account of your own, right? So that is the difference in that. Now you click on this IoT core. Here only you can see here, beside cloud formation, you can see IoT core. Click on that. Yeah, click on this monitor. You cancel this. No, no, not that one. Close this cross sign. Click on this cross sign. Now click on this horizontal line that is on the left top. Yeah, click on this monitor activity. Yeah, monitor, you click it. So this monitor and all, what do you mean by this monitor? When we send a message, or when the signal from your IoT device that you are using it, when it connect to the cloud, okay, so you can monitor from here the performance in the form of graph. You can see it, how the signals are coming, like means how the signals are going, how you can means what is the variation in the signal, so pattern you can see it from this. Now click on this activity. Yeah, because you have not done any activity now. Now click on this onboard. Click on get started. Now okay, now from here we're going to start. I will going to show you how we can connect with this. Okay, so just wait. And Dipti ma'am, did you open that? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so is she is getting the same screen or what? uh, Dipti ma'am, am I audible? Okay. Okay, you stop sharing, ma'am. I will share that and show you. Yeah. So I will going to share you. Actually, might be you can search for like this also. AWS IoT component document, like that also. If you search in the Google tab, AWS IoT core document, you will get a screen where they will going to tell you one by one each and every step how we do that. So here you can see here, this is something the hardware devices, and in the IoT companies, the IoT devices or the technology we are working, we connect these hardware devices to the cloud. We use some scripting file like Python or several programming languages, like JS file, Node.js, to connect this hardware device with the cloud, so that they can send a message and signal, and we can send data on this cloud. So like this you can do it. Similarly, you can check it like this home automation. In this home automation also, you can see the figures they are showing you. You can click on this link and you can search about it, like what are the example. So this will give you the example, like how home appliance you can connect with the AWS. So these are nothing, means why we are connecting, so that we can send the data, whatever the data generated by your home appliance, whether it is camera recording, monitoring, or whatever it is, they can directly save into your cloud instead of saving on your local system. Okay. Now the thing is that, like how AWS IoT works. Okay. So let's see this. This lab we're going to start. Just wanted to show you what is the flow structure. This is the flow structure. Okay. This, whether the IoT device install, these are the hardware device. Okay. Like camera you use in your home, automatic car locking you use in company. You might have seen in the Discoveries and National Geographic, where they shows like in US how the automated devices they are working in industry, especially in the manufacturing companies. So like those are also hardware device like robots. They are, we just configure them, and we make some setting, like setting in the sense, we write the code in such a way that we give a path. If you have seen my code, let me show you. Oh, sorry. Let me show this one only. I think it's open. You can see here I am giving the path of like HTTP, S3, Amazon, AWS, like this, right? S3 is actually the bucket, a storage in your Amazon AWS. And this storage you will give the path here. You will give the storage from where you can save your data. Okay, like when you run this script file will going to operate your hardware device. That that hardware device, whatever signal they generate, they will going to save somewhere, right? So you need to give them path. Now here actually we are downloading this whole folder from this S3 bucket of your AWS. But similarly you can save the data that is generated by this hardware devices that will going to run on this script file on your AWS cloud. Okay, because they generate a data, so you need to save somewhere. So such kind of scripting file you need to write it. This is not an hard. It's looking because you are looking this code first time, but it's simple only. Means you just need to tells what are the IAM role, what are the services that want to access it. Okay, like this you can see what are the version of your AWS, which bucket you want to save it, what is the URL of that, what actually the operation you want to do, which Python configuration file you are using here. Such kind of things you need to mention it here. And you can get this template from the cloud also and from GitHub account also. You just have to modify it based on your requirement. Okay, it's simple only, not difficult. I will going to tell you like how we can do this. So I've shown you how you can connect the devices. Okay, now inside this cloud services, like IoT Core. IoT Core is one service of this AWS that we are looking. Will going to help you to connect the devices of this hardware device. And there are other also like AWS Lambda, EC2. They will going to create a compute. They will going to give you compute service. Compute service in the sense what means they will provide you processing of your signal. Okay, processing of your data. And the database service, like the data that is generated by your IoT device will going to save somewhere on a database. So this is called Amazon DynamoDB kind of service. Now what are the applications, right? Applications or like they are using it. So, and what are the protocols? You need some rules, right? You need some protocols to transfer the data from your hardware device to your local device. Okay, these are the internally you should have the knowledge of this. Because the thing is that directly if you do the practical, you will know the practical, but you won't be able to understand how the data is going to save, what are the services that you need it while working on this AWS. And what are the data
Uh,
that you will going. Yes.
Amit, can you share the link for this page?
Yeah, I will going to share
Finding,
it.
but it is not here.
Yes, I will going to share it after the class. It's I'm working on the Ubuntu, so it won't be copy right now, but I will going to share with you in the
Okay,
Trello.
okay, no issues.
Then I will going to share with you. Mm, yeah. So as I was saying you, that you need some internet protocols. You need some network connectivity. Obviously you need a internet connections to run this AWS cloud. So this connectivity should be there, so that only you can save the data from the hardware device to the cloud. For this you need some hardware device. So right now we will not going to do any hardware installation. We will going to connect our local system with the AWS cloud. But if you want to do it for hardware, we can like one of our team member, they will going to show you also like how you can connect the hardware devices. Yeah, ma'am has shared it. uh, okay, you might have got the link, right? I'm
Yes,
audible?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So
Deepti is
here.
facing some Wi-Fi connectivity issue. Just
Okay.
she know.
Okay. No issue, I'm recording the video. If she want, you can, I mean she can look into that also. So what are the hardware devices what we need it? when we do the configuration, Arduino, you might have heard about it, Arduino, this WAN devices, custom IoT devices. So this is more with respect to the hardware, so we will not go in with deep on this hardware devices. We just need to connect these hardware devices with our AWS cloud, with the database and all, so that either what are the, like how the signal will going to travel to the cloud. We use some sensor, or we make a connection, network connectivity between the hardware device or the cloud. We give that some sensor will going to use, actuator is in the sense who will going to receive the data. Okay, there are two things in the IoT devices. One is your sensor, who will going to send a signal, like from your IoT device to the like from you to your IoT device in the cloud. And one is actuator, who is going to receive the data. Okay, so these are the two component that we will see it. So this is the actual architecture of this AWS IoT, and we will going to see this AWS IoT core, which comes under control service, means how you can send a message from the IoT device to the AWS cloud. Okay, so let's see that.